And how was that?
Still fun. I just didn't realize after going through Arden's DLC again how hard Somnus tries to gaslight himself. It's not even Arden. He's trying to gaslight himself that he was doing the right thing.
I do think, when everything's said and done, that Somnus was jealous of Arden, but I don't think he was
He was an
malicious.
absolute no. He was an absolute jealous ass because from everything we know, he only tries to kill Arden after he finds out that he's not going to be the king. It's not after. It's not after the crystal denies Arden.
Yeah. But that's always because Bahamut influences that decision. Because I don't know if I know, I think I told you this, but you actually find out what Bahamut looks like in the novel. Because, like, you know how in the game he wears a mask, so you can't really tell what his face looks like? They actually tell you what he looks like in the novel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He looks like Somnus. Somnus is basically his self-insert on the planet.
Wow.
Yeah, Bahamut's a real petty fuck. Hang on.
Yeah, when you actually get a spare moment, tell me what you think about the Arden matchup that I came up with.
Let me send you a message. Alright, let me see what you sent me. Heldath versus Arden. Which Tales games was this?
We haven't been through it yet.
Ah, okay. Who would win between Gohan versus Vegito? Okay, before I answer that question, do we even have any canon feats of a hypothetical Goku and Gohan? I think 4's a little reaching, but so far the connections seem fine. Is Heldath's name Zarif? Also, I'm still gonna give that to Vegito.
Who's Gokon?
I'm assuming that's what the fusion name is for Goku and Gohan.
Did they fuse?
Well, so you remember how in the Buu Saga originally Goku was going to fuse with Gohan?
Yes.
I guess he's asking who would have like been stronger between those two, but I don't think Goku or Gohan have ever canonically fused. However, we do get consistent statements that rivals fusions tend to be a lot stronger than non-rival fusions. once everything's said and done, I think your connections are solid. I just think number 4 is a little reaching, but that's fine. But yeah, as far as
Did you
what?
did you end up talking to Ewan about the business idea?
I did, and he seemed a little confused about it. He said he was on board to do stuff for it, but I don't think either he quite understands what we're saying, because he also, well, or he does and he's just not confident enough to do it at the moment, because he said like he already struggles releasing content, so he's not sure he could do it for like a more serious endeavor at the moment. I told him it's going to take some time to even get the idea off the ground, but he said it sounded like something he'd be interested in.
Well, you did tell him that it's not something of like it needs to come out weekly. It's like whenever. It's just a place where he can just like gather shit.
Yeah. I told him to just mull it over, and if he has more questions or details about it, to hit you up directly.
Mm.
I mean, it sounded like he'd be willing to do some stuff for it if we end up taking off, so it's not like he's against the idea. Just that he's not, at least at the current moment, 100% confident to do something like that. Which makes sense, because between commission work and other stuff, he's always kind of, he's always kind of, like, strapped between doing his work and other people's stuff. But yeah, so I'd give that one to Vegito. And then you have our things going on, but nothing too crazy in the world today. I watched a video about some guy talking about how genius it is, or how genius MGR's can Melidos's hacks work on Gojo? I'm assuming you're talking about the 7 deadly sins, and
Is he talking about Melio's full counter?
yes, whatever the fuck that is.
It's basically that, from what I understand and what I remember, you throw an attack at him, he returns it back at double the strength.
What's the drawback?
I think he has to be strong enough to return it.
So like if he's not way stronger, it hurts him to return it back at double the strength.
I just think he just can't return it, but I haven't been through 7 deadly sins in like 5 years.
I know I'm kind of the pot calling the kettle black, but that sounds like a really stupid power.
That's like what I remember about it grassroots. I'm pretty sure that like he gets way more powers later on.
Well, Dark Lord, unfortunately, I don't know what his powers are, but if he doesn't have spatial manipulation, then I'm gonna just say it probably wouldn't work on Gojo.
Because depending on what the energy system is for 7 deadly sins, it might just be as universal as
Cursed energy.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then Gojo can pretty much just hard counter him.
Oh, that's a fucking jaguar. Beat his ass, Kyle. I was not expecting a fucking jaguar to come out. No, that's not a jaguar, right? Is it a leopard? What is that?
It's a leopard.
Is it a leopard? What's a jaguar then? No, it's a jaguar.
No, it'd be a leopard.
Is there a reason to be a leopard over a jaguar? It looks like a jaguar.
Yeah, smaller build, and jaguars have a more defined face.
Sure, it's not Puma.
No, it's not a fucking mountain lion.
Yeah, no. So Gojo's one of those. I guess you would call him a hacks check character, where there are a lot of characters who are stronger than him, but if you can't bypass a specific ability or have ways to bypass it, you can't really beat him within like some degree of reason. Because I don't want to sit here and tell you that, like, blowing up the universe doesn't affect Gojo because he can just, you know, because of invulnerability. How far will player character from Bakugan, Battle Brawlers, game go in Digimon verse?
Depends on the Digimon verse, I guess.
Aren't they all the same?
You think so?
It's like SMT, right? It's the same demon everywhere. Yeah, unfortunately not too familiar with Digimon, so I can't offer you any feedback on that one. Yeah. Beyond that, all my new equipment is in for my recording and video stuff. So I'm still testing out the camera, but my new audio equipment is in. So hopefully, going forward, the audio will be improved on both my laptop and my current computer because I'm taking my computer setup and giving it to my laptop. So my computer will now have a mic that ideally will sound a lot better than the current one, or my laptop will anyway. Show my computer as well. I'm gonna have that little mic hookup thing where it has the little screen in front of it to stop your popping sounds. And it's gonna be a stand that ideally will be as tall as I am or taller, so I can just stand up and record instead of having to sit down to do it. Because I don't know about you, but like I have a much easier and better time talking when I'm standing up rather than sitting down for like hours. Who wins Magic the Gathering lore versus Yu-Gi-Oh lore? That's gonna depend on where you want to scale Yu-Gi-Oh. Because unfortunately, it is going to be a situation of whether or not you go dimensional tiering or not. Because I can confidently get Magic to multiversal, and if I really wanted to, I'm sure I can find some arguments for higher dimensionality. Like, if we're not discussing higher dimensionality, then I think the top tiers of Magic are equal to, if not comparable to Yu-Gi-Oh! At that point. Well, I don't know. Fucking, what was Sparta's last shenanigans about Yu-Gi-Oh? Was there higher dimensionality or not? And if there was, how high did it go? Do you remember or no?
I think it was anywhere between multi-plus to maybe low complex.
Is 5D stronger than 12D GX? Okay, so I don't know how to, I haven't looked at the context for that 12 dimensional statement. So, according to Sparta, it is. But I'm just gonna say I don't necessarily believe that is narratively correct. However, Sparta's the one who's done the research and he claims it is. So, I'm going to defer to Sparta for now. But I will say on a personal level that doesn't sound right. See, I'm showing respect to Sparta, acknowledging he did the research. I'm just saying I feel like there's something, like, off about that statement on a personal level. You know, like how every now and again you, like, just hear shit and, like, you have no reason to believe it's wrong. You have no evidence to believe it's wrong, but every fiber of your being is telling you something's not right. Yubel says it in the anime sub. No, I know she does. But if those dimensions are not elaborated on, then that raises a question of whether or not you can argue it for higher dimensionality.
Or if it's a location or an amount of them.
To be clear, we're not girl scalers. I every fucking day I wake up, and every day I just get like eBay notifications for the Gurren Lagann guidebook, and I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna give in, and I'm actually gonna scale this series, and everyone's gonna fucking hate me, because I'm gonna tell them the guy doesn't infinitely get stronger.
I think I've told you, like, you only need to watch like the last 4 episodes because that's where all of the big power scaling stuff happens with the anti-spiral.
Yeah, but if I'm going to shit on his character, which I probably will, I should watch the whole series at least so I can have my sources. No, if I want to just scale it, I'm sure I could just watch the last 4 episodes and that's it. I'm very much convinced on that one. Does it mean Jaden's base form is 12D because he fused with Yubel, right? If I remember correctly, Yubel never succeeded in super polymerization. If I remember correctly, Jaden turns the polymerization on himself, doesn't he? Don't worry. It was more of a rhetorical question. I'll look it up.
I was gonna say you're gonna be very disappointed by my response.
Never forget that the end of GX is a high schooler fighting a transvestite monster because they broke up when they were younger.
I thought it was him fighting a fucking evil dark king.
Well, he is the Dark King. Of course, the one time I want the sub, there's only a dubbed version of the fight. But yeah, no. So I'm not too sure on that one. So I'm trying to get to the end of the fight. Okay, so what Yubo specifically says, at least according to the dub, is I will break the boundaries of time and space and fuse the 12 dimensions. And from those 12 dimensions, an explosion will occur that will create a new world where only you and I will remain.
Unless we have extra context, which I'm sure Sparta does somewhere, that could just mean 12 normal sized universes. What's
I haven't seen the end of the fight in a long time, but so Yubel activates her trap card to use super polymerization and pop off, right? But nothing happens, and Jaden's like, well, of course nothing happened, because I responded to your first trap card, so the spell couldn't resolve. They had just fucking rushed through their fucking combo, not realizing he'd already interacted with it. Oh, that's great. That's fucking... that's card game player 101. Okay, yeah. So I was right. What ends up happening in the anime, and I believe the manga extends this a little afterward. Actually, I have to ask Sparta if this fight even happens in the manga. I think it does, but... So in the anime, what ends up happening is, like I said, Jaden switches the targets of super polymerization to be himself and Yubel and fuses them together instead of anything else. So if the 12 dimensions aren't specified, you can take it as one of two options. You can either take it as we accept dimensions as higher dimensionality, and that's it, or you take it as there's not enough evidence, so it's unusable. Realistically speaking, you should be taking it as unusable, but that's probably going to be a case-by-case basis. Because I don't just want to flat out say there's never a case where that kind of statement's usable. It's just that, like, you should understand full well that you're going into you're arguing a position that your opponent could just dismiss higher dimensionality if there's not extra information. Because remember, chat, a claim made without evidence can be rejected without evidence. And also, the less evidence you have, the We know Jaden canonly loses to Yugi / Autumn and Yusei are equal to them. Both Yu-Gi-Oh movies bomb beyond time, right? So actually, I don't know if we're ever told if Jaden wins or loses in the anime. I don't know what happens in the manga.
It's in the anime. It's left ambiguous.
People assume Jaden lost. But I don't think we're ever actually told what the outcome was. If that makes sense. It's kind of like it's like one of those fun fact situations when you realize that technically Joey beat that Joey technically beat Yugi in a duel, but like no one ever talks about it because we never see it.
Or the fact that like he came super close to beating Kaiba.
Never happened. Beating Yugi is one thing. Beating Kaiba is another. But yeah, no. Unfortunately, again, don't have all of the information to scale that properly. So yeah. Jane did tell Neos to attack Slide for the Sky Dragon. It has 5,000 attack points. Doesn't mean he lose, right? So, the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! And a lot of card games is you can do things during battle to change the outcome. And to be honest, like, it's heavily debatable if the animators even care enough to pay proper attention to show what, like, pieces people have in their hand. I'm sure someone's already gone through it and been like, Jaden was gonna lose anyways because, like, oh, he doesn't have the cards in his hand to win. But yeah, no. So, unfortunately, again, I don't scale Yu-Gi-Oh! Enough. I've been meaning to sit down and read it, but I've got other things that I gotta take care of first. And then I'm also reading, like, other series for enjoyment of my own, so where it's like, damn, don't really have time to sit down and pick up that series at the moment. Is that one fucking guy who keeps fucking doing shit to you? No. Just a bunch of random Native Americans. So he still calls you Piss Man, huh?
Says you're right.
Look at your character laughs. Oh yeah, we're also getting a new Tron movie apparently. Go figure. Starring the fantastic Jared Leto. The last Tron movie was actually really good. A lot of people really like Tron Legacy, but Disney just like canceled it along with a bunch of other movies because another franchise failed. Always fun when that's the explanation for, you know, a franchise losing. Anyways, chat, hope you're having a nice night. This is always such a weird choice on Ubisoft's part to make a game like this. For all intents and purposes, there was no audience for a caveman simulator, you know? And yet they went for it. They knew there was an audience there somewhere, and they're like, we'll fucking take it. I've always felt that Far Cry was a game series that always kind of, not that it didn't deserve its reputation, I just always felt it was kind of overhyped, kind of like how GTA was. Look at him go. Damn it, motherfucker got my fucking points. Ooh. Kyle, have you tried the like fruit ninja thing they have for Star Rail for like the extra mode?
Nope.
Let's see. Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing right now. Just trying to get some gems, you know. Since not all of us can be lucky enough to pull a character in one pull.
God, let it go, you woman.
I don't think I will.
Something nice happens to someone else and he bears a grudge.
It's not what happens to someone else, it's just when it happens to you.
Why me specifically?
Because you do it every time in gacha games. You see me struggling to pull the character, and you just walk over to me, put your hand on my shoulder, and be like, "I got the character."
It's supposed to be supportive.
Supportive that you got what I wanted.
It's supposed to be supportive. Like a chin up, kid. You'll get it.
Because I got it.
See, you're getting it. Shouldn't be so sour. Shouldn't be so negative.
Shouldn't be so negative. Bro, the fact that I lost the 50-50 to a character I don't even like. So okay. Every now and again, I really do like Star Rail's side content. It's just the fucking scenarios they come up with are fucking ridiculous. I like that. So
You could always try getting through the main campaign too,
I need gems. So,
and that's what the main campaign gives you.
So I'm doing the side quest for the Connect 4, and the premise of the quest is you show up to an arcade on Penacony that just opened up, and the gambling chick from the LaFu is there. You know, the one who's supposed to be working all the time?
Mm-hmm.
So she's there at the arcade chilling out, and one of those origami birds curses her. So she calls in her friends on Penacony to help her out, and it's fucking Boot Hill and Argentine. And then when you ask her, like, are you gonna call your friends on the LaFu? And she's like, hell no, my boss thinks I'm still working right now.
She snuck away to another star system, and they think that she's still on the clock.
That's a level of fucking that's a level I want to aspire to one day. Does Godzilla have to always win in every crossover, right? Yeah, allegedly, there is a clause in the crossover